Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about the U.S. response to recent developments concerning international law. We're going to do this because there's a lot of questions coming in, and a lot of them are based on the desire to fit new events into preconceived notions or narratives. And the main question at the heart of it is, why is the U.S. response what it is? And that question actually assumes that we know what the U.S. response is already. And I know the news came out, the ICC said, hey, we have these applications for these warrants. And pretty quickly, U.S. officials from across the government, regardless of partisan divide, they came out and they said, it's shocking. We're in disbelief. This is outrageous. Can't believe there's an equivalency, so on and so forth. And people are taking that as the response to the merits of the case or the situation on the ground. If you want to believe that, you have to believe two things. One, that it's a good idea to accept statements from politicians at face value when they kind of appear coordinated, oftentimes to include the same terms. You have to believe that, and you have to believe that I can assess what the ICC was going to do weeks in advance better than the entirety of U.S. State Department, the intelligence community, and the White House. I'm not that good. Weeks ago, we talked about how the warrants were going to come out, how the applications were going to go in. There was going to be a set for Hamas, a set for the Israelis. You have the entire government acting like this is a surprise right now. It's not. The equivalency, that was pretty apparent. That was going to be there. That's what the ICC was going to do. And they knew that as well. That terminology, that was probably drawn up weeks ago. The equivalency thing, probably about the same time that video went out, when it became very apparent what the ICC was about to do. The U.S. probably is not really that upset about what the ICC is alleging. I mean, if you remember, let me get my notepad here. It was recently that the U.S. government said it was, quote, reasonable to assess that Israel did pretty much exactly what's alleged in the application for the warrant. So it's not that. This doesn't have anything to do with the merits of the case. It doesn't have anything to do with the situation on the ground. And it certainly doesn't have anything to do with loyalty to anybody. If you look at all of the evidence about what the U.S. reaction is, you start to realize it's not about this exact situation. So what's it about? It's foreign policy. What's it always about? It's about power. Take away all country names, all locations, all individual names. Take it all away and describe the mechanics of what the ICC is doing. They are attempting to prosecute people from an establishment state that is a non-signatory for actions that occurred while they were pursuing a non-state actor in an area that the ICC claims jurisdiction over. How many times a year does the United States do that? That's what the reaction's about. The ICC, as far as the U.S. is concerned, there's always been a little, let's call it hostility from the U.S. to the ICC. Invade The Hague and all that. If the U.S. does not oppose the ICC move here, it kind of, it relinquishes that power on the international scene. The U.S. isn't going to do that. That is what this early reaction is about. It has nothing to do with the actual situation over there. Nothing. It's about kind of undermining it on a general principle level, because the U.S. would not be happy if the ICC pursued charges against an establishment state that's a non-signatory for going after non-state actors in an area they claim jurisdiction over. That could very easily be applied to the U.S. So, what is the U.S. response? Don't know yet. Haven't got that far. You haven't seen any real signals about that yet. What you are seeing right now is general pushback to the mechanics of what the ICC is doing. That's it. If you want to know what the U.S. is doing as far as the response and how they're going to deal with the situation when it comes to Israel specifically, I would pay real close attention to a potential budding relationship between U.S. officials and a person named Gantz. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.